Hi. All of us want to connect with those we love who have moved into spirit world. And I have a story for you of a connection that I made that I think is pretty powerful and pretty phenomenal. And I'd love to share it with you. Hi, I'm Diana Rankin, a psychic medium, a storyteller, a poet, a writer, and a coach to help you develop your spiritual journey and make your life as great as you can make it. This is my story about that I call Anne's Lamp, and it's about a friend of mine, my best friend actually, when I lived in California and I was a much younger woman. Anne was actually older than I was. I was the age of her children, but we didn't connect on an age level. We connected because she was a fine arts painter, I was a poet. We were also both on our spiritual journeys, so we connected at the deeper levels. And we were both Scorpios, and that probably might have had something to do with it. But we would get together, we were both single, and we'd get together for dinner a lot at restaurants, and we'd talk about men and art and poetry and life after life, life that we call death. What happens when we leave this world? Unfortunately, one night after dinner with Anne and a third friend, Ginny, the three of us were laughing and joking around. And when we left and said our goodbyes, Anne let me hug her. For Anne, that was a very, very unusual thing. She didn't like hugging, and I'm a hugger. But we said goodbye, and she went to her home, and Ginny went to her home, and I went to my home. That night, Anne died in her sleep, and I lost my best friend. And at the time, it was very, very difficult. And her children, who were very gracious and kind to me, gave me some of her things to remember her by. And one of them is the lamp over my shoulder right here, this round globe. And I brought that back to me with Ohio, and I put this fairy in front of the globe. And this is a little fairy. I don't know if you can see her well, but she's reading a book. It reminded me of me, and there's a butterfly down here. Well, this fairy's from Ireland, and so Anne was her family was from Italy, but my family was Celtic, so the Irish fairy, or the fairy who once lived in Ireland, and Anne's globe light just seemed to fit together, because when I would turn it on at night, it would seem to me that this was the moon speaking to me, and Anne was speaking to me through the moon in some ways. As the years passed, Anne and I communicated throughout those years, and the way she always let me know she was around is she would blink a light. I'd be sitting at my desk, for example, and the desk lamp would start blinking, and I would say, "Okay, stop. If that's you, Anne, blink it again." And it usually would start blinking again, and then I would say, "Okay, what's your message? You're just letting me know you're around, or do you have a message for me?" And then I would listen for that message. Some of you may be hearing a dog barking. That's my lovely Daisy, who is a little angry because I put her outside while I was filming this. And if you want to see Daisy, please go check on my healing dog, the message from the video on the healing dog. But now back to my story about Anne and the lamp. So for years this went on where Anne would blink a lamp and I would feel her near me. Well, one morning, I was in the back of the house and doing what we women do in the morning, brushing my hair and putting on a little moisturizer and lipstick and so forth. And I was talking to Anne, and I was saying, "Anne, I feel the need that I need to reach more people. I love the clients I have. I love all the people who come to my workshops. But I said, I feel a need to push out more and reach some new people." Well, as I was talking to Anne, the phone rang, and it was a new client, and she and a couple of friends wanted to have readings. So I said, "Well, that's great." And in our conversation, I suggested that we actually have a psychic party. You can go on my website and learn more about the psychic parties, but real quick, what they are, it's where somebody gets together, a group, and then I come and I read each person individually in a private setting. And while I'm reading one individual, the others are out having a good time with tea or coffee or whatever. So anyway, I'm talking to Anne, the client calls, we set up a party for her, and then I'm walking down the hall toward the great room in my home, which is where I'm standing now. And as I'm walking down the hall, I'm saying, thank you, Anne. I appreciated your help in all of this, for sending me some new clients and pushing out a little bit more. And I kind of figured Anne had a hand in all this, but just in case she didn't, it doesn't matter. Thank yous and gratitude are never, ever wasted. So I'm walking down the hall, and this time Anne came back to me, but not with the blinking light. When I reached the end of the hall, this is what I found. The lamp was lit. This lamp was lit. Now, you saw what I had to do to turn it on. I actually have to turn a switch. And I will tell you, I turned it off because it's a little bright on the video. But I have 3 cats. I have Daisy the dog. There's no way they could have turned this on or turned that switch. Plus, my cats are barred from the mantle, and there's no way they can get up here because I have things keeping them from getting up here. So here I was. Anne had reached out, not just with the blinking light, but with the whole glowing globe. I was so blessed, and there was no doubt, I knew it was a message from Anne. And all of our loved ones want to reach out to us. They do it in different ways. Anne's been in spirit world for several years now, so she's learned some of those new ways of reaching out. And of course, I've learned new ways of communicating with her. But I will always tell you, whenever I look at my Irish fairy and Anne's globe, I remember that day when I came out and there was this whole new powerful way of communicating. Thank you for being with me. Thanks, Anne. I love each and every one of you. And I wish for you great communication with those that you love. Until we meet again, thank you. This is Diana Rankin saying, later.